Well, you're always a little bit, you always wonder a little bit after a 5-day break how your team's going to come out. You know, my challenge to them was that we needed to come out with a lot of energy, needed to get out of the gates fast. And, you know, I thought from the tip we didn't get, but the first defensive stance that we had when Chloe went down there and dug that thing out. And, you know, from there I thought that you could tell that we were focused. We were dialed into the game plan. And then things just started, you know, happening offensively for us. Sharing the ball, Mac, you know, was really good today. But I thought Yarden became very aggressive, which was great to see. I thought Lily coming off the bench, she gave us great minutes, posted hard. Our rebounding was where it needed to be. Free throw shooting was exactly where it needs to be because I do believe in our kids and they're great shooters. And so it was a good afternoon to be able to play a lot of kids. We knew going into it we were going to be able to play Sarah and Chloe 40 minutes despite or whatever in spite of what the score was going to read. But it was great to be able to get those guys out, those starters out in the fourth with the lead that we had because we know we have a big week coming up, you know, going over to Maryland and then certainly going to Ohio State. So great win for us, great crowd, always grateful for them on a day that, you know, we could do it on our Pink Day, breast cancer awareness. Anytime we can, you know, bring light to that, any cancer, but anything like that, you know, we're always, it's a special day. And you get to see those survivors. Those guys are the real, you know, winners of all of this. So I'm glad it happened on a day where we can celebrate, you know, those that we've lost, those that have survived, those that are battling, but also that, you know, we played, we had the performance that we did. So that was really good.
Teri, when it comes to Lexie, I mean, she's been in the rotation, she's been playing, but what's the kind of the foundation stone for her as a starter to get her to mix in with the starting group? And obviously today she didn't score, but she did have a decent floor game, 9 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yep.
What do you kind of, what's been your process in terms of ingraining her into that starting 5?
And you know what, Todd, she's doing exactly what we need her to do, right? You know, I think for her, you know, Lexie she's such a great kid. She's such a great teammate. She wants to contribute, right? And she wants to know sort of what that looks like for her. And, you know, Allie watches a ton of film with her, and we keep saying the same thing. What you're doing is exactly what we need you to do. We have scorers on the floor. We feel like we have a lot of them. We need Lexie to continue to facilitate. She made 2 huge plays at Purdue. She had a flood pass to Yarden, corner 3. She made the last read to Sarah, which was the dagger. And so the decision-making, facilitating, all of that. And then she has to be another, our second best, I think, on-ball defender. And so we knew, you know, when Sid was obviously healthy, you know, we used her in a lot of those scenarios where we felt like we were having a hard time guarding, and she got a lot of minutes because she's athletic, she moves well, she's quick, she's, you know, tough. And so we really use her as that, or believe and view her as that second, right after Chloe, our best on-ball defender. And so she got a little winded there towards the end, and I took the last time out simply just to give her a break. But she's done everything we've asked her to do. You know, the thing that she needs to be able to do more consistently is if she is going to attack the basket and get to the free throw line, she has to make them count. And you know, she's been working on that. She knows that, how important those free throws are going to be for us. But you know, right now she is playing her role exactly like we want her to.
Yeah, Teri, you guys used some different kind of lineup combinations, especially with the bench and the, you know, very few starters on the floor. Was that something you kind of went in thinking you needed to try to kind of get that experience? And was that a symptom of having some layoff time to work those things in practice, or
Yeah.
you could just go to those when you want to?
Well, again, Mike, we knew we weren't going to be able to play, the minutes that Sarah and Chloe. So, those kids, Bo, I thought was great today. Really took advantage of her minutes. And I think it was so good for her to have the performance that she did. She needed something good, like the way she played today, for her confidence. Bo is it's so important to her. She cares so much, and I think she internalizes things. She thinks about things. She sometimes doesn't let some of those things go, and we always remind her it's the next play. And to see how aggressive she was offensively today was really good for her and good for us. I felt like getting Jules in there. Jules is a kid that has a nose for the ball. We needed second, third shot opportunities, I thought. With Sid being out, Jules provides that for us. She seems like she can always get around the ball, and she just got in early foul trouble, or she probably would have been in a little longer. Lily, I thought came in and was really good. Henna, I thought came in and she picked up fouls quickly, but Henna's a kid that hasn't played a lot and gotten many minutes, so we knew that she was going to look a little bit like she did, but I thought she settled in as well. We did go into the game feeling like all these kids have been really working hard, and if we can get them in and give them minutes, we were going to do it.
Teri, following up on that, when you suffer the big injury to Sid like you have in the middle of Big Ten play, how do you just, as a coach, evaluate what you're seeing with those different lineup combinations to push the right buttons?
I don't know that we've figured that out quite yet, because it's only been 2 games that we've played without Sid, but I thought the way we responded at Purdue without Sid, and that was only with 1 day in between, to prepare. But as I've said, the nice thing about Yarden is that, she played a lot of 4 for us last year. And so the other great thing about Yarden is she's very intelligent, and you can move her around, and she understands where she needs to be in certain play calls and whatnot. I think we're still sort of evaluating what that looks like for us. It could look way different on Wednesday. I don't know. I'd love to be able to play, all these guys, and there's no doubt that they're capable, of being able to provide minutes and impact the game one way or the other, whether it's offensively, whether it's defensively. But I think, as we go on with Wednesday and then, certainly into Saturday, we're going to start figuring some things out as far as rotations and what some of those guys can give us.
Coach, you talked about Lanae's game today. Mm-hmm. We've seen some interactions between her and Sydney. How important has Sydney's leadership been for her development?
Well, again, Sid always provides great leadership. She always provides great juice. That's one of the things we miss about having her right now inside the game. She's tough. She's gritty. She is, like I said, she's full of energy and optimism. In those timeouts, she's always talking. And you could see that today. I mean, that's just part of being a leader and part of being a veteran. That you realize that even though you're not out on the floor, you can still serve a role for us. And so, I didn't have to have that conversation with her. Like, hey, you're going to be out a few games. We need you to do this. It just comes naturally to Sid.
Teri, do you have any idea how long Sid is going to be out?
Yeah, no, right now we don't. It's really day to day with how she feels.
What I was also going to say is you've recently, last couple of years, you've had a similar circumstance. Mm-hmm. You had Mac go out for a while, Grace go out. I mean, has that affected your thinking, experience of that, in terms of how to make up for a key player having to be out for a while?
No, I think all the experience, that we've had in those scenarios, those circumstances, has only made us stronger. Especially those young kids. And then those starters understand that they need to do more. And, we don't change anything in the way I continue to coach them or the decisions that we make. And the expectations are still the same, and they're to go in there and win ball games. We just may have to move our pieces around. You know, it's another person's opportunity to step up and get some, not just, you know, experience, but really good experience. And you hope that that always can help you down the road.
Coach, a lot of times good teams can fall victim to playing down to the level of their opponent. But as you said tonight and all season long in these kind of games, you guys have been dialed in. Mm-hmm. What is special about this group where they can maintain their composure and focus in a game in the middle of January?
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. I think, again, going back to what I said about Bo, I mean, I have a bunch of Bows on my team. They care, right? And it matters to them. They're super competitive, and we have goals, you know, we have goals. And regardless of what the scoreboard may show, you know, we're all about doing our job. And whatever that looks like, we're going to do it. And then you got some of those young kids like Beaumont and Jules and Henna that are trying to get more time. Right? And so the way you get more time is by performing well and doing really good things and gaining confidence. And so, you know, that's what we're hoping that's going to happen is there's going to be confidence, but there's also going to be a level of focus and seriousness about not playing the scoreboard, but trying to get more minutes for myself. And that's not selfish. It's they want to play, and I appreciate that. And as you guys know, we can only have 5 on the floor at one time. But to have a deep team is a special thing, especially if you want to make a deep run in March.
Lexus and Lene are both kind of like pass-first players, and tonight Lene was more aggressive.
Yeah.
Lexie led with 4 assists, but
right.
Are you looking for her to maybe be a little bit more selfish in the paint instead of making like a
Lexie?
You know, yeah, like a pass down to the
there's
block?
moments like she had a run out that she could have easily laid up. She tried to, I think, wrap it around to Mac. It's those, you know. And she came off and we talked about it like you got to take that, right? So I think it's again, she's a sophomore. It's a fast game. We're playing fast, and her just, you know, making a better decision in that moment. But you know, around the rim, I mean, one of the things that you know, we do run some things for her to get to the basket because of her athleticism, because of her ability to get off the floor. I mean, she has the highest vertical on our team. And so we try to take advantage of that. But as I said, if she's going to get fouled, then she needs to get 2 points from the free throw line. All right, thanks, Coach. Yep, thank you, guys.